What is fear, and why do we live with it so intimately? Have you ever really examined fear, not just in a particular situation, but the whole structure of fear that governs your life? Fear is a shadow that follows us from the moment we are born until we die. It dictates our choices, controls our relationships, and limits our freedom. We are afraid of losing what we have, our possessions, our relationships, our status. We are afraid of the unknown, of what tomorrow might bring. We fear death, and we even fear life itself. And in trying to escape fear, we often create more of it. This cycle goes on, and we never stop to ask, can I live without fear? To understand fear, we must first look at how it arises. Fear is always related to time, isn't it? It's the anticipation of what might happen, the future, something unknown or uncertain. We project what could happen based on our past experience and then react with fear. The mind is constantly thinking about tomorrow, and with tomorrow comes fear. But is tomorrow real, or is it just an idea in our minds? If we deeply understand that tomorrow is a projection of thought, we begin to see that fear is also a product of thoughts. Thought creates fear because it imagines a future based on the past, and in that imagination there is the possibility of pain, loss, or suffering. But thought is not reality. It is a tool, a process of memory, and when it dominates our lives, we are caught in fear. Now, can the mind see that fear is an illusion created by thought? If we see this clearly, not just intellectually, but deeply in our hearts, fear begins to lose its grip on us. But this doesn't mean we suppress fear or run away from it. Most of us try to escape fear through distraction, through belief, through seeking comfort in others, but that only strengthens it. What we must do is face fear directly. Look at it, feel it, without labeling it or trying to change it. Can we observe fear without judgment, without trying to escape? When we do this, fear starts to dissolve. The more we look at it without reaction, the less power it has over us. Living without fear doesn't mean you become reckless or careless. On the contrary, it brings a deep sense of responsibility and clarity. When we are free from fear, we are no longer dominated by self-interest. We can act with wisdom, with love, and with compassion, because we are no longer concerned with protecting our small corner of existence. Fear isolates us. It creates walls between us and the world, between us and other people. We are afraid of being vulnerable, so we build these walls, but in doing so, we imprison ourselves. To live without fear is to live with openness, without those walls. It is to live fully in the present moment, because fear cannot exist in the present. It always belongs to the future or the past. We might ask, is it really possible to live without fear? Most people think that fear is inevitable, that it's a necessary part of life, but that's only because we have lived with it for so long that we cannot imagine life without it. To live without fear requires a radical transformation of how we see ourselves and the world. It requires us to let go of the past and stop projecting into the future. This transformation doesn't happen through effort or willpower. You cannot force yourself to stop being afraid. But when you deeply understand the nature of fear, when you see that it's created by thought, something in you changes. There is a natural release from the grip of fear, and with that comes an extraordinary sense of freedom. In that freedom, there is a tremendous joy, a joy that is not dependent on any external condition. This joy is not the opposite of fear, but something entirely different. It is the state of being fully alive, fully aware, and fully in the present. And in that state, fear has no place. So, can we ask ourselves, what am I afraid of? And when that fear arises, can I observe it without reacting, without trying to push it away? Can I face it fully without escape? If we can, we will begin to live in a way that is not dominated by fear, but by love and intelligence.